Good day viewers, welcome to another edition of the Daily Strange Stories. I'm John Brown. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, I hope you're feeling accomplished and motivated. Our lead story for today. Suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu in hot soup, after being exposed and thrown under the bus by his Deputy Minister, Cassel Mathale. Senzo Mchunu, suspended police minister, is he a victim of circumstance, or a leader who failed his duty? That's the question gripping South Africa after a dramatic parliamentary inquiry. His own deputy minister, Cassel Mathale, pulled no punches, accusing Mchunu of isolating himself, hoarding power, and making reckless decisions that jeopardized the fight against crime. But is there more to the story than meets the eye? We'll dissect Mathale's explosive testimony, examine Mchunu's track record, and uncover the hidden agendas at play in this high-stakes political battle. Get ready for a deep dive into the heart of South Africa's police crisis. It all started with Mchunu's appointment as police minister in June 2024, following his previous roles in the Water and Sanitation Ministry and the Public Service and Administration portfolio. Unlike his predecessor, Bheki Cele, who had a smoother transition due to his prior familiarity with SAPS, Mchunu entered the position without deep knowledge of the police environment. Mathale, who served as deputy under Cele, has highlighted this difference. Under Cele, who took office in 2018, Mathale received delegated responsibilities within 4 months of joining in 2019. These included oversight of the Civilian Secretariat, the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, IPID, the Private Security Industry Regulatory Authority, PCI, and the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI. This setup allowed for efficient operations and clear lines of responsibility. In contrast, Mchunu has not yet assigned similar delegated powers to Mathale, even after more than a year in office. Mathale attributes this delay to Mchunu's ongoing process of getting to know the SAPS system. He notes that they are nearing the end of this familiarization phase, but the absence of these delegations has left Mathale and his fellow deputy, Boshielo, without defined roles. This means they lack a formal performance plan, making it challenging to evaluate their contributions or ensure the ministry runs smoothly. Critics, including members of parliament, point out that this situation has persisted for 12 months, creating what some describe as a one-person show where the minister operates without fully involving his team. Such an approach raises concerns about efficiency and potential oversights in a department responsible for national security. Mathale's testimony took place before Parliament's ad hoc committee, which is investigating serious allegations raised by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. The probe focuses on several issues, including the alleged unlawful disbandment of the Political Killings Task Team, PKTT, a moratorium on filling vacancies in the Crime Intelligence Unit, corrupt relationships between police leadership and the public, and political interference in SAPS operations. The committee's chairperson, Soviet Lekanyane, openly declared his long-standing personal and political connection to Mathale, stemming from their shared history in the African National Congress, ANC, and Limpopo's provincial administration. Even opposition MP Glynis Breitenbach from the Democratic Alliance acknowledged knowing Mathale, underscoring the interconnected nature of South African politics. Mathale himself has a history with Mchunu, describing him as a comrade from their days as provincial secretaries in Limpopo and KwaZulu-Natal, respectively. Despite this familiarity, Mathale has not provided direct support to Mchunu in his new role. Instead, Mchunu has relied on a legal advisor, Advocate Bheki Cele, and his chief of staff, Cedric Ngabine, a former policeman. National Commissioner Fanny Masemola has also offered guidance. During handover briefings, Mathale focused on key areas like SAPS operations, the Civilian Secretariat, IPID, PCI, and DPCI, admitting that while the organization faces challenges, it is far from perfect. One of the most striking revelations centers on the PKTT, a specialized unit established in 2018 under President Cyril Ramaphosa's directive to address politically related murders, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal. The task team has shown notable success, making progress in cases and reducing such incidents since its inception. Mathale attended 2 briefings with the team, the most recent in March 2024, just months before Mchunu's appointment. At these sessions, presentations highlighted the team's effectiveness and no major problems were apparent. Everyone involved seemed satisfied with the outcomes, and the team's work was never questioned in terms of results. Yet, Mchunu has expressed dissatisfaction with the PKTT, hinting at the need to disestablish it during meetings with his deputies. These discussions touched on broader ideas of strengthening internal police capacity, such as bolstering the murder and robbery unit, to reduce reliance on temporary task teams. Mathale was part of these talks, but they remain general and not specific to the PKTT's immediate future. Crucially, Mchunu did not consult Mathale or Boshielo before issuing a directive on December 31, 2024, ordering the task team's immediate disbandment and a closure report within a month. Mathale first encountered the directive on social media, initially dismissing it as fake due to its odd phrasing and impractical demands. The letter's emphasis on immediately and tight deadlines struck him as unusual and problematic, making it hard to see how it could be executed without engaging the operatives involved. He questioned the motive and timing, wondering what circumstances led Mchunu to draft it in such a manner. Only in early January 2025 did Mchunu confirm over a phone call that he had indeed written it. Mathale chose not to challenge the decision outright, viewing it as an executive choice, but he remains puzzled by the lack of practicality. This lack of consultation extends beyond the deputies. National Commissioner Masemola was on leave when the letter was sent and learned of it afterward. Key figures like Mkhwanazi and Crime Intelligence boss Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo were not involved. Even President Ramaphosa, who initiated the PKTT, was not consulted. Mchunu has defended his actions as within his constitutional rights, claiming he held meetings with deputies and informed Masemola, leading to the directive. However, testimonies from multiple officials contradict this, forming a growing list of those caught off guard. Mathale has emphasized the importance of alignment between Mchunu and Masemola, suggesting they hold private engagements to avoid misunderstandings. He recalls instances where such absences led to issues, contributing to the current inquiry. In comparison, Mathale's working relationship with Cele was strong, with open communication and no similar surprises. Cele himself has testified that Mchunu did not consult him and ignored requests for meetings after the disbandment. The broader picture reveals underlying challenges in SAPS, including administrative gaps and problematic individuals within the ranks. Despite these, Mathale insists the service remains intact and capable of its duties. However, the inquiry is uncovering deeper issues, such as the moratorium on crime intelligence vacancies and allegations of corrupt ties, all pointing to potential interference. MP Sibonelo Nomvalo from the Umkhonto Wesizwe Party has described Mathale's testimony as yet another contradiction to Mchunu's claims. He notes that no one from the department has supported the disbandment as fair or logical, except Mchunu himself. Nomvalo highlights the absence of a signed performance plan after 12 months, calling it inexcusable and indicative of a ministry where deputies are sidelined. He sees this as part of larger problems, including administrative crises and a dictatorial style that stifles collaboration. The hearings are gradually exposing these matters, commending witnesses for their bravery in speaking out. Mchunu's suspension in July 2025 followed allegations of corruption and interference in police operations, with Firoz Kachelia stepping in as acting minister. In his own testimony, Mchunu claimed he took steps to understand his role through documents and interactions, but the emerging narrative suggests otherwise. The inquiry continues to peel back layers, revealing a ministry plagued by isolation and hasty decisions.
Issued his directive on the 31st of December 2024. What was your, when did you first learn about the directive?
On the social media, that's where I picked it up. And then he then called, I think, was it, I'm not sure whether it was the first or the second, but early January, that the letter that is circulating, he wrote the letter, because I thought it's fake.
Is that the usual way you learn about what the minister decides or has decided, that you learn about it on social media?
Well, that's not a right way. We have been interacting all along about everything that is to do with policing, but this specific one, that's how we learned about it, unfortunately.
DM, how do you work without delegated powers? You wake up in the morning, you go to the office and do what? DM, did you get my question?
Oh, okay. I thought
You wake up in the morning, you bath, you wear a very nice suit, arrive there in the department, and do what?
Well, as
Can you get close to the mic?
okay. No, thanks, Honorable. You are right. It will appear like we don't have anything to do, but we do, because the department that we are dealing with is vast, and you need to have your pulse on what is happening with the entities that are there. We have to ensure that the ministry is functional, the department is working, coordination is done. The interaction that we were having of the things that needs to be done gets done. That's why you have policing taking place in the country. The fact that we are not delegated specific responsibilities, it doesn't mean that we don't have things to do. We do.
Does it usually take this long?
Of course, but there is a difference between the 6th and the 7th administration. In the 6th administration, I came in within a short space of time. I got my delegated responsibilities, which is attached there. And the reason why it was so quick is because I was working with another police officer in the form of General Cele. And fast forward to now, the minister comes from a different environment. And this ministry, Honorable, it's complex. You can't just say you are responsible for this, you are responsible for that, without having that deeper understanding yourself. And I think it was necessary for the minister to go through the processes that he has gone through. And as I said earlier, that if this process is concluded tomorrow, I think, and the minister is coming back into office tomorrow, he will be able to allocate us responsibilities, because he fully understands SAPS and its operation now as we speak. In fact, he's wiser. He's much wiser. Thank you.
Okay, you arrive at SAPS in 2019.
Yeah.
General Spear testified under oath before this ad hoc committee and said, everyone in the SAPS knows Cassel Mathale because he's popular within the organization for the work he's doing in the SAPS. How well do you know Mr. Mathale?
I think I don't want to say it was you can't say everyone.
Can you get close to
you
your mic?
can't say. Why is it that it looks like I'm far from the mic when you speak, Honorable? You can't say everybody knows him, because that might not be factual. But you can say there are some people who know him in SAPS. That will be accurate, because indeed it's some. Personally, I don't know him. I don't know him. I only came to know him when these issues started to hit the wall, and it was in the public space. But I didn't get the opportunity to meet with him.
You slide like a hot knife through butter. And that's what you are doing today. You're sliding like a hot knife through butter. You saw nothing, you heard nothing, you did nothing. And you know nothing. So I'm wondering what it is that you came to do here today, and how you think that approach of I saw nothing, I said nothing, I did nothing, I heard nothing, I know nothing, is helpful, because it's not. Could you just tell me how you think it's helpful, please?
I thought, thank you, Honorable, thank you, Chair. I thought I responded to the questions that I have been asked to the best of my ability, and I didn't say I saw nothing. I said nothing, because I didn't say so. I spoke to what I saw, and I'm speaking to what I know. If there is a specific issue that the minister the Honorable want me to talk to, if she can assist me with a question that can be helpful in that regard, I'll be happy to respond.
You, like General Cele, are very good at this. You look very polished, you present very well, you're very eloquent. And so, you know, you look like, forgive me, the average accomplished deputy minister in a government. And you do that very well.
Thank you for the compliments, but I was not aware about that.
No, I mean it, I really do. The difficulty is this, Mr. Mathale, is that you've been a deputy minister for a long time. This isn't the first time, is it?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And you have a long political career. You've been the premier of a province, granted a province that you drove into the ground, but
which is incorrect.
Bankrupted it, but nevertheless.
Which is incorrect.
Yes, well, that's not what we're here to debate today, unfortunately.
But it's factually incorrect, Honorable. You can check the record of National Treasury that there was no such.
Yes, as I said, that's not the question. So the question is coming.
It's not the question, I agree, but it's factually incorrect.
So you've said.
I have never responded to the issues and the media statement around the Limpopo issue of being brought under Section 100. And not because I agreed with what was said, because I thought it's the right thing to do. And I can't, Chair, through you, allow a narrative here that misrepresent facts, because
you have disagreed with me, and that's fine.
The reasoning behind Section 100, why it was implemented, and the issues that were put on the table were incorrect. And
Mr.
National
Mathale,
Treasury itself...
Mr. Mathale, I'm asking the questions, not you.
Honorable Deputy Minister.
I am asking the questions, not you.
Honorable Breitenbach, let me remind the two of you. Honorable Deputy Minister, all the witnesses that appear before us, they come to us as the guests that we have invited. And Honorable Breitenbach, having invited the guests here, we have a duty to hospitality.
Indeed, quite frankly. So he's answered what was not a question, and I'd like to move on. And I'm not going to allow him to use up my 30 minutes by rambling on this issue. And that's just how it is.
May you please proceed and ask your question?
Yes, well, I will, if the guest will, you know, keep quiet for long enough for me to ask a question.
But you can't remember when that discussion took place. Was that before the directive?
Before the letter, yes. Before the letter.
So let me come back to then what was your reaction when you saw the directive?
The letter?
Yes.
No, the letter. I'm saying that the letter came as a surprise to me, particularly the immediate disbandment of the unit and the dates that were set there. That to me was a problem, because the people who can be able to say, we think we can close up this through this particular process, are the operatives themselves out of an engagement.
Were you aware of the fact that the people in charge of the operations of the PKTT, General Mkwenazi and Lieutenant General Kumalo, that they had not been consulted about the disestablishment of the task team?
Well, because the discussions we were having with the National Commissioner, for that decision to ultimately be implemented, it will necessarily need the engagement of all the role players.
Yeah. But don't you think that the minister should have consulted with them? They're the people directly involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that the ultimate dissolution will have to take place after interacting with all the relevant role players. And this includes them.
The task team itself, was there any doubt in your mind that this task team was operating legally within the prescripts of SAPS, within an allocated budget, and falling under the authority of the National Commissioner, ultimately?
Yeah. I never doubted that.
Did the minister ever mention to you or indicate to you or give you any idea that actually this political task team is not operating legally?
Yeah. Well, the discussions around this, it was not based on the legality of the unit or not, because that was never in question. I don't remember a meeting where we discussed that the team is illegal or something like that. That never arose.
Okay. Do you think it is in the best interest of the crime-fighting efforts to dissolve the political killings task team?
It's in the best interest of the crime-fighting effort. The political task team, it was not necessarily SAPS' response to fighting crime. It was a SAPS response to fighting political killings that happened in KZN. And it did a very good job as a task team. That is a better organized way to respond to the high rate of crime. But the task team did its work, and it did its work effectively. And task teams, at some point when the task is no longer at hand, they cease to exist, but there are no time frames.
It performed its tasks effectively.
Yeah.
So does that mean you don't agree with the sentiments that it is not adding any value in policing in South Africa?
Yeah, let me say yes.
Okay. We can pass that. The task team in itself is comprised of the multidisciplinary team.
Yeah.
It's comprised of various departments, which some do not even fall under SAPS.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a rational decision to want to dissolve without consulting the sister departments that are part of the team?
Yeah, look, any effective investigation that will lead to prosecution must always be prosecutorial guided, because prosecution plays a role in the fight against crime or dealing with criminality. So once you have got a prosecutorial-led process of investigation, in most cases, the outcome of that process is always good. Unlike an investigation that is not prosecutorial guided, you will go to and fro on a matter that you can go once to the prosecution and they say this is the right thing, let's do it. So it was a good thing to integrate them. Of course, when you say this team must fold, there is nothing wrong in you taking such a decision, but embarking on a process that takes everybody on board as you implement. You can't take a decision and implement, and when in the course of implementing, you then want to solicit an opinion. That might have shortcomings. So it's important that all the role players must be taken on board. By the way, they did not establish themselves, they were established. So as you disestablish, you must take them on board.
Mr. Mathale, you mentioned when you were talking to, I think it was Honourable Nomvalo, although it might have been Honourable Skosana. See, they both lost interest and left. That we're here today because of a memo that was sent. Are you referring to the directive of the Minister to General Masemola?
Yes.
And you said if it had not been for that memo, we would not have been here.
Yes.
So do I understand you correctly that your view is that the reason we are here today is because Minister Mchunu wrote a directive closing down the political killings task team with what he said was immediate effect?
Yes.
And we're not here to address the systemic ills that have beset the South African Police Service for years, for more than a decade. That's not what we're here for. We're here to address the memo. Is that honestly what you think?
No, the memo is a spark that ignited, and as a consequence of which Parliament must establish facts on the issues that General Mkhwanazi has raised. So you are not here necessarily to discuss the letter. That's why you are asking questions beyond the letter itself.
So Mr. Mathale, then, can you tell me why it had to take General Mkhwanazi to get up on a Sunday afternoon and make this public statement when everything he said is not unknown? It's nothing new. He didn't think of it on Sunday morning and get up and say it. These are problems that have been there for years and years and years and have been left unaddressed by one administration after the next. Why was it necessary for there to be a spark? Why was this never addressed? Have you any idea?
The problems, through your chair, that have to deal with the transformation program of the country and the issues related to that are complex, and dealing with them, it is going to take a while. It took us a while to arrive at 1994. And to create a perfect system from where we are going forward is not going to be an easy process. And I think this explains why we are here. And it doesn't mean that as we gather here to look at the challenges and how best to deal with them, when we rise out of this process, we will have a watertight process of policing in the Republic. We will experience difficulties from time to time. The magnitude won't be the same.
But do you accept that he had done what he could to address these issues before going public?
Yeah, I accept that.
You do?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this news bulletin. Please share your opinion in the comments section. We would be glad to read and respond to your comments. Let's meet again tomorrow in our next strange story. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday.